Good evening. Tonight, I can report to the American people and to the world that the United States has conducted an operation that killed Osama bin Laden, the leader of al-Qaida, and a terrorist who's responsible for the murder of thousands of innocent men, women, and children. So shortly after taking office, I directed Leon Panetta, the director of the CIA, to make the killing or capture of bin Laden the top priority of our war against al-Qaida, even as we continued our broader efforts to disrupt, dismantle, and defeat his network. Then, last August, after years of painstaking work by our intelligence community, I was briefed on a possible lead to bin Laden. And it took many months to run this thread to ground. I met repeatedly with my national security team as we developed more information about the possibility that we had located bin Laden hiding within a compound deep inside Pakistan. And finally, last week, I determined that we had enough intelligence to take action and authorized an operation to get Osama bin Laden and bring him to justice. Today, at my direction, the United States launched a targeted operation against that compound in Abbottabad, Pakistan. A small team of Americans carried out the operation with extraordinary courage and capability. No Americans were harmed. They took care to avoid civilian casualties. After a firefight, they killed Osama bin Laden and took custody of his body.
Huge news. Yes, he's announcing that there was a targeted operation to take out Osama bin Laden. It's been successful. They now have the body. There's just been a statement released. I guess George W. Bush doesn't want to miss out on this moment, one of the most important historic moments in the history of the United States. He's put out a statement calling the bin Laden death a momentous achievement. We're also going to be hearing, because this is part of Canadian history as well, Canadians were killed in the attack on 9/11. We're going to be hearing from Stephen Harper later this evening. So joining us now is Terry Malewski. He is our senior correspondent traveling with the Prime Minister tonight. So are we expecting to hear from him soon? What are you hearing?
I think we're now minutes away, Wendy, from hearing from Prime Minister Harper. Of course, he is going to speak not as a partisan leader, despite the timing on the eve of an election, but as a national leader. He remains Prime Minister, and he will be wanting to make a statement to reflect first that this is a Canadian story too, to remind people that 24 Canadians also lost their lives in the 9/11 attacks. He will try, it's a difficult drafting job because he will not want to be seen as trying to cash in or exploit this for partisan advantage. And of course, this was a bipartisan, a multi-partisan mission in Afghanistan in the wake of 9/11. Canada supported it. All parties are now debating what we do next, although both the Liberals and the Conservatives have decided that they support a continuing training mission in Afghanistan. So I don't think there's really much partisan advantage to be had here, but Mr. Harper certainly wants to be on the record as congratulating the United States for achieving, for the successful outcome of this mission, and to express solidarity on behalf of all Canadians.
So just a last quick word out of you, Brian, about what does this mean? Obviously, this is fabulous news for Americans. They've been waiting for 10 years for this. But in terms of world politics, what should we be watching for?
Well, it's going to be enormous world news. And I think the relief in Europe and the relief among many Arab nations is going to be enormous as well, because this has been really a specter haunting the world for a decade and even longer. The whole era of terrorism that is surrounded the bin Laden brand, if you could have it, which is often referred to al-Qaeda as the brand. That will be an enormous relief factor, that a major blow has been struck against an organization of terrorism already very much weakened in recent years by counterterrorism operations against it. It will perhaps free up some more avenues for discussion with the Taliban in Afghanistan, in Pakistan. It will certainly boost the morale of the NATO and the UN-endorsed mission in Afghanistan. So it'll have significant effects, but it will take days before it all shakes itself out. We'll still be trying to find out the full reaction, the full details, I'm sure, days from now.
And Neil, back to you, just in terms of this was a targeted operation. What does that mean?
He sent a team to kill Osama bin Laden. Listen, I directed Leon Panetta to make this killing him a top priority. I authorized. He is taking ownership of this. George Bush used to call himself a war president. Barack Obama used to joke about how his name would get mixed up with bin Laden. Barack Obama never called himself a war president, but he will now be able to take ownership of the title of the man who finished the job, the guy who got it done, the man who shifted the country's attention from Iraq.
All right, Neil, it's been a big night. We've got to wrap you up now. We now know that Osama bin Laden is dead. It's been announced by the President of the United States. Thank you so much.